everyone, thanks so much for your patience. So we're just about ready to get started. But before we do, we have a link here on the screen. If you haven't registered already for this event on the course platform, then it would be great if you could do so, because if you would like to gain access to the course at the end of the kickoff session, then we will give you access through your registration. But please be aware this link on the screen is for people that are already logged into the platform. Hans has shared another link for those of you that are not registered yet. That will take you straight to the event. It's in the chat here on Zoom. Correct. All right, so the agenda for today is firstly going to start off with a personal introduction from us, and we're going to quickly share the kickoff call with you. And then we'll tell you a little bit about the DevSecOps Academy before we get to the meat of today's sandwich, is introduction to compliance as code. And then that will naturally lead us to telling you a bit more about the course. And finally, we'll have a quick wrap up and a small Q&A. So who are we? Well, my name is Inge. I'm a DevSecOps advocate here at the DevSecOps Academy, and I help to create courses, but I also help to manage the DSOA fellowship program and work with fellows on their courses. But we'll be telling you a bit more about the fellowship program in a moment or two.
Hi everyone, my name is Dominik the Smit. I'm the CEO of the DevSecOps Academy, along with our partner company Arido, and my background is in software engineering and cybersecurity. I've helped a large number of organizations with the security awareness and security programs in the Netherlands. And currently I'm building with Inge and the rest of the team our DevSecOps Academy platform with hands-on labs to make sure that people and companies get the right hands-on skills for their secure DevOps transformation.
Thank you, Dominik. So this platform is the DevSecOps Academy. It is a Dutch startup that is backed by multiple VCs. So we're, as Dominik said, an online platform with browser-based hands-on labs. Some of you might have tried these hands-on labs already, but if you haven't yet, you will get a chance right after this session, as we'll be giving you access to one. So our aim is to become the #1 in DevSecOps practical training. And this involves a number of things, from skill building to upskilling, reskilling, assessments, and so forth. But the very special thing about our courses is not just built by 1 or 2 people, but rather it's built by experts from all over the world that we have gathered through our fellowship program. You too, if you're specialized in a specific area of DevSecOps, could become part of our fellowship program if you like. You'll find more information on our website. It's a really rewarding experience to build your own course, that in sharing your own knowledge here, and you're able to share it in your company or also maybe in one of these events. And this is kind of a way to represent the skills and the knowledge that you have gathered through the years. And here in the office, we're a really fun international team. If you want to work in DevSecOps, we are always looking for great people to join our team. We have a link here in the bottom right corner that you can find out more about it. And I'm sure Hans will be sharing the link in the chat. So talking about the fellowship program, this course that you're going to be doing this week, Compliance as Code for AWS, using Chekhov, was actually created by one of our fellows, Luigi Parde. So he's a security engineer at Fourth Line, which is also based here in the Netherlands. Speaking about the course, you will have, after this session, a total of 72 hours to complete the hands-on lab. This is more than enough time, so don't worry about the time limit. And then the 72 hours will end on the 1st of July, that is Thursday at 4 o'clock, when we have our wrap-up session. We'd really love you to attend our wrap-up session, because that's when we'll discuss your feedback and have another Q&A and just evaluate all of the results. But here you can see the relevant security categories that we focus on for the DevOps lifecycle. So compliance as code, our topic for today, is a learning path in our cloud security category. But what exactly is compliance as code? Well, let's firstly talk about compliance itself. So for companies that operate within the EU, there is one well-known data and privacy regulation that strikes fear into the heart of every business owner, and that they need to comply with. So this is the General Data Protection Regulation, also known as the GDPR. It is known to be the strictest data protection regulation in the world. If you're judged to be non-compliant with the GDPR, this can cost you dearly. At the beginning of June, already more than 283 million euros in fines have been awarded to companies. And in order to avoid getting a fine and potentially damaging your reputation, you need to comply with regulations like these. However, we all know that complying to regulations can take a lot of resources to implement and manage. And at the end of the day, that might be the last thing you want to do. But that's why it's beneficial to make sure that you can check automatically that you are compliant. So compliance as code focuses on automating compliance in different DevOps areas. But this course in particular focuses on infrastructure as code. So we're going to be focusing on that also right now. So with compliance as code, you have the ability to automate monitoring, detecting, and reporting your organization's compliance status so that you can remediate critical vulnerabilities and also verify their fixes. So to incorporate compliance as code into your DevOps flow, your organization's policies will be codified into tests that will run automatically testing your code. So whenever you make changes to your code, you can ensure that it is still adhering to your company's policies and that you follow the same standardized process to enforce compliance on your code changes. This also provides auditors with proof that you are compliant. And of course, reduces the risk of human error thanks to automation. But the earlier you know about compliance violations, the easier and the cheaper it is to fix them. You really don't want to wait till production to try and resolve them. So in this course, you will use Checkov to perform automated analysis of Terraform source code to search for misconfigurations. This could lead to vulnerabilities or exposures in your infrastructure. So for those who are not familiar with Terraform, it is a technology that enables you to define infrastructure resources as code. Terraform is great. You're able to configure many resources by providing arguments, but it does have a few pitfalls. In some cases, if you do not provide arguments when Terraform calls web APIs, it could apply default values that is translated into default attribute values in your Terraform resources. This is also known as implicit configuration, and this may lead to vulnerabilities or unwanted exposure. So to prevent this, we're going to make use of security tools like our hero of the day, Checkov. So Checkov is an open source command line tool which scans infrastructure as code for security vulnerabilities, exposures, or other misconfigurations. When you make changes to your code, they are evaluated and checked according to your compliance policies. If a rule is violated, another action is triggered. For example, you might have configured your CI/CD job to fail if there are violations. If it passes, then your resources are created. The great thing about Checkov is that they already have a default set of policies that you can use. So you can start using it immediately to check for best practices. If your organization does have specific policies that you would like to check for, then you can create your own custom-made policies in addition to these default sets. Let's take a closer look at a checkoff policy and relate it to the GDPR. The GDPR advises data controllers to encrypt, pseudonymize, or anonymize personal data wherever possible. For now, let's focus on encrypt. Let's say you're based here in the Netherlands and you're building a web shop application and you're planning to keep some of your customers' data in a private AWS S3 bucket. You're defining your S3 bucket as code with Terraform, and you want to ensure that you continue to stay compliant to this GDPR guideline. So one of Chekhov's policies that is relevant here is ensure all data is stored in the S3 bucket. It is securely encrypted at rest. When we incorporate Chekhov into our continuous pipeline in GitLab, then we will check Terraform's plan against Chekhov's auto-generated policies. If a policy violation takes place, then the job will fail. And you will be able to directly see in the terminal output which policies were violated. Once you fix the issues in your Terraform code, you can verify the fix by running the pipeline again. And if the check passes, then the AWS resources will be created. But I think that's enough talking about it. You will find this out for yourself in the course. So now I'm going to hand it over to Dominik, and he will tell you a bit more about the platform.
Yeah, thank you, Inge. Let's quickly start sharing in the second screen. Like this. This one. So you should all be seeing the registration screen on our platform. This should be familiar if you already registered. If you didn't register yet, please check the link in the comments section where you will find a direct link to this page. So you're able to register and get access to the course for this event. So once you get access to the course, you will see the following page. We have a course information page for each of the courses that we have. So in this page, you will find a 30-second whiteboard video that will explain what you will be doing in the course. It will show some of the learning objectives, some of the required experience and prerequisites, and also our fellow Luigi is mentioned. And once you're ready to take on the challenge, you can click on Go to Course. So for each of our courses, we have two parts. First part is the preparation lab, and the second part is the hands-on lab. You need to finish the preparation lab first and the quiz in order to be able to start with the hands-on lab. If you start with the preparation lab, there will be a few steps you need to go through and read some of the theory, and also the items that Inge has just discussed will be mentioned in here, and also there will be some more links for you to read on and to dive a little bit deeper into the subject. At the end of the steps, when you are comfortable, you have a good understanding, you can take the quiz. The quiz will have a few questions that will test you on if you really have understood the theory, and once you have successfully completed the quiz, you will be awarded a badge. Once you have finished the quiz, you can go on to the hands-on lab. So currently there is one important thing to mention about the hands-on lab. Once you start the hands-on lab, you will see the following pop-up. It will mention that you only have 3 hours available to complete the lab. So that means is when you start a lab, you have to finish it in one go. So you cannot, for example, start the hands-on lab, go cycling for 4 hours and then come back, because after 3 hours, the lab will be automatically destroyed if no review has been requested. So that doesn't mean you need to have 3 hours, but it means you have a maximum of 3 hours. So some people do it in 1, some people do it in 2, and some people need the full 3 hours. But 3 hours should be more than enough for you to complete this hands-on lab. Okay. Now let's quickly go back to our presentation. Whoop. And then so, like I already mentioned, 3 hours available for the hands-on lab. Be aware that once you start it, you have to complete it in one go. There's currently no pause button in the platform where you can pause the lab, so you need to complete it in one go. Like I said, 3 hours. After 3 hours, the lab will be automatically destroyed if you don't press the check results button at the end of the last step in the hands-on lab. There will be a button called check results, and when you press that, your lab is going to go into a review mode. We have a system available that does automatic checking. So whenever you are doing the lab, a system continuously will assess if you're going into the right direction. On the right side, you see a screenshot of that, where basically you have a green check mark after each step once you have successfully completed it. Sometimes it can be the case that our system doesn't completely detect if you did something correct, because sometimes you can do the correct thing in multiple ways, but don't be scared about that. Just continue, and if you think you're on the right track, just continue. It doesn't happen very often that our system says that it is wrong, but it can happen. So be aware of that. If you get stuck during the hands-on lab, there will be hints and solutions available into the platform. So whenever you're not able to continue, please first take the hint and see if the hint will help you to proceed further in the hands-on lab. Don't worry about not making the hands-on lab in the first retry. During this event, we will be able to give you some extra retries in the case that you're not successfully the first time, or you had some issues, or you had some technical difficulties, or you just were not able to complete it in let's say one single time, sorry, then we will be able to give you a retry. So don't be afraid to start. We have a support button on the right bottom side of the platform. Looks like a chat icon, a green chat icon. If you click on that, our support department will be available for you in case you have any questions or you get stuck. But please take the hints first whenever you get stuck, so we can really see if it's a technical issue on our side or if there is something else, so that you get helped quickly, basically, by our support department. Not everything is perfect yet in our platform. We are working very, very hard on that. We are a startup. We are just launching. It can be that you notice some bugs. Please notify us. We have an integration with Hotjar on the left bottom side of the platform, where you're easily able to send us screenshots, or you can just send us an email with a bug you found, and then hopefully we can fix it as quickly as possible. We need your feedback in order to make the platform better. So please help us. But of course, the most important of all is that everyone has fun. We hope that you learn something from this hands-on experience, and that you can take some of these learnings into your project or your next assignment with Terraform and compliance as code. If you're able to successfully complete the hands-on lab, you'll be awarded with a practitioner certificate that will look like this. It will mention the date and what you actually did. And you can proudly show this to the rest of your world that you were able to hands-on basically do the compliance as code. Yeah, so you didn't just only take a multiple choice quiz, but you also hands-on implemented some of the policies and the compliance as code. So we have some time left for some questions. So please put your questions in the chat so we can have a look at them and answer them. So let us open also the chat on our side and see if there are some questions. So let us quickly have a look. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat so we can answer them. So to make sure that you've understood everything properly, and that you're able to successfully complete the course in time before we do our wrap-up session.
Or you can keep your questions for the wrap-up session and join us on Thursday.
No, that's also possible. So I see a question around pricing. So someone asks, I see there are some prices given for each course, $39.99. Is that the course different from what you're offering now for free? So no. So Pradeep, the course that you see there is exactly the course that you'll be getting, but we are offering it now for free because of this event. And one of the important things that we didn't mention yet is the survey. So at the end of the hands-on lab, there will be a link to a survey. So we do this basically for free in order, to get your feedback on how to improve the platform and the hands-on lab. So please fill in that survey so we can make the course and platform better. And in this way, we are offering this course for free during this event period. And then we see another question about how to access the labs. So whenever you get access to the course, and like I just showed on the platform, there will be a hands-on lab part where you can start, and then you should be able to start the hands-on lab.
And there was a link shared in the chat that will take you directly to the event, and you register at the event, and then you should be given access to the course through that. And in the course are the 2 labs.
Yeah, and whenever you get assigned, you also be notified by email, where in the email it will be stated that you have access to the course.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if there are any other questions, and otherwise we can wrap up. So I see a very good question from Michael. So the possibility to pause labs. Yes, we are currently working on that. However, it is more complex than it seems. And what we are trying to figure out now is, how much time people actually need and how flexible do they want to be. So we are also asking the community and people, how to deal with that. So if you have any feedback after you've done the course and the labs, and you really felt that, this pause button was missing, please tell us in the feedback why and how that can improve you doing the hands-on lab experience.
Because we aim to make the labs short enough that you can finish it in one go. So it can fit into a weekend.
Yeah, so we try to break up our courses in smaller learning bits and bytes, and that you don't need a full weekend to do a course, but you can just take 1 to 2 or 3 hours depending on your on your knowledge, and then you can quickly do it. Okay, and then there was one last question from Pradeep. So Pradeep, we don't do an event for each of the courses. So you have to keep an eye on our on our LinkedIn and our postings. We will not do an event for each course, but there will be definitely more events you can also see that are coming up. So in these events, it will be offered for free, but it's not always the case that we are going to do it like this, because this is more a kind of a launching offer from us in order to get more feedback from the community. So this is why we do it like this currently.
Yeah, and we actually, if you're interested in compliance as code, we have another event on Wednesday where you'll be taking a look at OPA and also at Terraform. So you can always sign up for that, Pradeep, if you're interested in another event.
Yeah. So yeah, I would thank everyone for joining this kickoff session. We hope to see you on Thursday during the let's say wrap-up session, where we can discuss some of your feedback, and have fun with the course, have fun with the hands-on lab, and good luck.
Yes, I saw one last question about threat modeling. We are working on threat modeling as a category, but as of yet, we still need to add courses to that category. So watch the space that will be coming up.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.